Berkowitz are here with us. For those of you who don't know me, that picture is not me.
Oh, it's not? Oh, okay.
No, it's not. All right, letting go. Sometimes I feel that my life is a series of trapeze swings, writes Dana Perry in the parable of the trapeze. She says, I'm either hanging onto a trapeze bar, swinging along, or for a few moments in my life, I'm hurtling across space in between trapeze bars. Most of the time, she says, I spend my life hanging on for dear life to my trapeze bar of the moment. And I have the feeling that I'm in control of my life. So, holding on to the bar, and thank you whoever took out that picture. Holding onto the bar.
Roy, can you turn on your purple, did you turn on your purple mic there? I'm not sure we're hearing you through the mic.
Oops.
Yay!
Do I need to start again, or?
No, you're fine.
Okay. Sorry, folks.
You have a fantastic voice anyway.
Thank you very much. So, holding on to the bar for dear life. Hanging on to a relationship, a job, an outcome, a belief, to my story, my narrative, in the way things are or should be. I've clung to them all at times. What keeps me clinging? She writes, every once in a while I look out ahead of me in the distance, and what do I see? I see another trapeze bar swinging toward me. It's empty. I know that this new trapeze bar has my name on it. It's my next step, my growth, my aliveness coming to get me. In my heart of hearts, I know that for me to grow, I must release the grip on this present well-known bar and move to the new one. But each time it happens, I hope that I won't have to let go of my old bar completely before I grab the new one. But I know that I must totally release my grasp on the old bar, and for some moment in time, I must hurtle across space before I can grab onto the new bar. Hurtling across space. Really? Thanks so much. I think I'll just hold on. Even if it's a job that we hate, a relationship that's ruining our health, hold on. Even if it's a church or religion that's telling us we're an abomination. I'll stay. It's less work. I know what to expect. Gives me a feeling of control in my life. It doesn't matter, she writes, that in all my previous hurdles across the void of unknowing, I have always made it. I am each time afraid that I will miss, that I will be crushed on unseen rocks in the bottomless chasm between bars. I do it anyway. Perhaps this is the essence of what the mystics call the faith experience. No guarantee, no net, no insurance policy, but you do it anyway because somehow to keep hanging on to that old bar is no longer on the list of alternatives. So for an eternity that can last a microsecond or 1,000 lifetimes, I soar across the dark void. So, isn't it ironic that when we let go of the bar, we so often let go of our connection with God, with Source, that when we soar across the dark void, letting go of the bar, when we are hurtling across space, we let God go too. We let Spirit or Source go at a time that we might need the presence at the most. It's during a time we call transition. In the way of transition, embracing life's most difficult moment, William Bridges talks about transition versus change. And he says change is a situational shift, new job, moving, new baby, leave partner. Doesn't mean we transition. And he says transition is the process of letting go of the way things used to be and then taking hold of the way they subsequently become. letting go of our hopes, dreams, beliefs, fears, not just changing the situation, the person, the place. Change jobs, you still might have the same issues with the boss. Move to San Diego, you still might not be getting the kind of friends that you want. Change partners and oops, there's your mother or father again. A change, certainly, but not a transition, because we've attached the same behaviors, the hopes, fears, and beliefs to this new person or situation. We haven't let go of the way things used to be. So Bridges tells us that transition can be a chaotic but potentially creative neutral zone, when things aren't the old way, but aren't really a new way either. How about that as a description of these COVID times? He says we're in a wilderness phase. Between the bars and the trapeze, whether it's a bar or a person on another bar ready to grab us, we are in between the letting go and taking hold. The time between no longer and not yet. Now, others have called it being in the hallway. Maybe you've heard that metaphor too. That hell between two doors very often. A good friend of mine used to teach with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Folks remember Maharishi Mahesh Yogi? She went around the world teaching TM for him. And she said he talked about the experience in the hallway. And he said, you're leaving the hut and you're going towards the palace. Then you look back and the hut's looking pretty good because of what it feels like in the transitional space. Of course, sometimes it's not our choice. We're thrown into the hallway, the bars pull from us. At times I know I wait till the bars inevitably pull from me. I usually know I need to let go of the bar. How do I know that? I'm reminded at my Unity service every week. Because in grasping the bar, and see if this fits for you, grasping the bar, I'm grasping onto old thoughts, clinging to crappy, less than spiritual behaviors, beliefs, judgments, fears, which keep me anxious, obsessing, not particularly peaceful. As I said earlier, sometimes the bar we're clinging to is about clinging to the comfort of what is known. Like those automatic reactions of anxiety, fear, distrust, they might have been our companion for decades. Somewhere we learn to believe that it is not safe to let go. And that's faith. But that's faith in things we don't want. Faith in beliefs which cause us to feel depressed, anxious, angry, beliefs which cause us to suffer. Emmett Fox says, the laws of thought are the laws of destiny. Whatever you believe with feeling, that you bring into your life. The thought or belief that you believe with feeling, that you have faith in, might not be what you want to bring into your life, to see made manifest. Course in Miracles says the way to correct our distortions, withdraw your faith from them and invest in only what is true. We sometimes have a lot of faith. We do. In what is untrue. In beliefs that are damaging and hurtful. Faith in our littleness. Faith in scarcity. Faith in achieving. In not being good enough. Faith that things will not work out. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore said, it is the law of spirit that we must be that which we would draw to us. That which we hold in consciousness will be made manifest to us. Therefore, we should not hold the thought of anything that we do not want to see appear. Charles, we know that, right? Faith, says the Course, is always given. In what is treasured, and what is treasured is returned to you. Isn't that nice? What is treasured is returned to you. I know that too. I've been singing Our Thoughts, Our Prayers off key for over 30 years. Does that stop me from placing faith at times in old, crusty, distorted thoughts? In worthless treasures? No, perhaps a more complete response, it doesn't stop me yet, not completely. And you know what? When it doesn't stop me, I now know I have a choice and I'm making a choice. That's really important. When I operate from an old story made up by ego, which does not have my best interests at heart, then I'm choosing poorly and I need to choose again. To choose again, when we cling to those stories of who we are, of what's happened to us, the injustices, the nasty, hurtful people we've encountered, the tapes we replay that keep our belief systems alive. Let them go and choose what is truly treasured. But we like solid ground. And my story of who I am, what has happened, been done to me, beliefs that have followed, are my identity. Solid ground. Wait. It's known ground, isn't it? It's not solid ground. As I was writing this, I thought, it's more like quicksand. The way it swallows, drowns, or covers our lights. It's like I'm living with the belief that hanging on means I'm safe or safer. Tara Brach says this remarkable quote, "We are loyal to our suffering. We prefer certainty of our beliefs rather than not knowing." Wow. Yet that loyalty, that grasping is the source of all our problems, says Sogyal Rinpoche, who says, since impermanence to us spells anguish, we grasp onto things desperately, even though all things change. Learning to live is learning to let go, yet we struggle to hold on. Not only is it impossible, but it brings us the very pain we're seeking to avoid. If I feel good, I want to stay there. If I don't feel good, how do I get back to feeling good? And that brings us to the very pain we're seeking to avoid. In one of the meditation groups that I've gone to, pretty much on Zoom, the facilitator suggested replacing let go with the word unburden. I loved that. To unburden ourselves from certain habits, from some ways of thinking, from that which does not serve us, like a belief, an old solution which has outlived its usefulness. But in doing that, in unburdening ourselves, it might mean us being in the hallway. You know, the irony of it all is that aren't we eternally in the hallway, in the neutral zone? I'm thinking this in-between zone is the real thing, the truth about our existence. And we dream up those bars to support the illusion of safety and control and permanence, but that in some way we're always between bars, always uncertain, always in the hallway. We sure are with COVID, but really, I think we were before COVID. Now, doors still may open and shut. There are endings and beginnings. But what's on the other side of the door? Another hallway. Might be decorated prettier, might be more welcoming. We think we're out of the hallway once the door opens, and for a moment we're on solid ground in a space of knowing. We are not in control of the unfolding of our experience, as Sharon Salzberg in her book, Faith. And she says, faith allows us to relax into this vast space of not knowing. With faith, we move into the unknown. Faith entails the understanding that we don't know how things will unfold. Without faith and change, we would be compelled to repeat patterns of suffering. We don't know how things will unfold. That seems to me the human experience. Having faith isn't having certainty, it's understanding we don't know how things will unfold. And Lamont suggests it's the opposite of certainty, but still being able to relax into that as we surrender to the unknown. We think we have moments of control over our lives. Well, we do have some control. We learn that in unity. We can't control the winds, but we can adjust the sails. We do have control over our reactions, our words, our thoughts. A kid says to his mother, "Mom, imagine you were surrounded by 10 hungry tigers. What would you do?" And she says, "I don't know." And he says, "Stop imagining." We have control over what we imagine, over our thoughts. But, as Eric Butterworth says, thought for the average person is a reflex process. We think what we've habitually thought, which is why I keep on coming to Unity, to be reminded, to have that awareness, which helps me then be aware and then challenge and choose again. Without awareness, I wouldn't be able to do that. So out of that habit on a trapeze bar, we may think, you better hold on for dear life because you don't know what's next. And then imagine, and you may smash against those rocks below, you puny, helpless thing. Well, who said there were rocks down there? An old church? Parents? A superhero movie? What if it's cotton candy?
Marshmallows.
No. Oh, I love that. Chris just said marshmallows. Or cotton. Or I used to have dreams of like jumping into Jello. Then my friend said it would close and I wouldn't be able to breathe. But I just... or what if down there is that which is of spirit? Because if we choose to let go of the swinging bar, enter a space of not knowing, which we are in anyway, as we hang from a bar which could be ripped from our hands at any moment. What then? What then? How often do we think God then? Spirit then? Miracles then? Of course, in Miracles says how light and easy the step across the narrow boundaries of the world of fear is when you've recognized whose hand you hold. To hold that hand, I have to let go of the bar. But you know, in my wisdom, my 70 years of wisdom, I know that hanging on means I'm safe, or safer. And Lamont says she is a recovering higher power. Aren't most of us? Let go, let Roy, and suffer. When we truly let go, we unburden ourselves. Butterworth says more important than learning how to recall things is finding ways to forget things that are cluttering the mind. Transitioning to living a more spiritual life means giving up, letting go of our old identity and thoughts, and all the beliefs that block our awareness of love's presence. When I let go, I can receive. So the question is, to be more content, to be more at peace, what do you need to unburden yourself of? Perhaps it's not, what do you need to add? What do you have faith in that you need to let go of? Do you do the burning bowl? So think about the burning bowl. Think about the let it to God. In that process of letting go of the way things used to be, when we do work in the neutral zone and give up hopes and dreams, we leave room for the new gifts that the universe has in store. Sometimes I found the gifts are greater than the ones I've attached to or imagined. So then we might actually grab the new trapeze with a firm grip, a new strength, or not. Maybe we will fall. Fall into the net source provides, the net of family, friend, church, community, the net of our faith. Maybe we will break a few bones. Parry suggests that transformation of fear may have nothing to do with making fear go away, but rather with giving ourselves permission to hang out in the transition between trapezes. Transforming, I need to grab that new bar, any bar, is allowing ourselves to dwell in the only place where change really happens. In fact, it's in the neutral zone that Bridges says we encounter the sacred. He says it's like a vacuum, and nature abhors a vacuum. What do you fill it with? God thoughts? Sacred thoughts? Or the nasty ones that run on automatic loop? You know, we work so hard to get rid of negativity, get it out of our lives. We come to church, sometimes we meditate, say affirmations, we sing, we talk about being children of God, sing the prayer for protection. Sometimes then replacing the old negative thoughts with new, balanced, more positive thoughts. Till Sunday night, or Monday morning. Out with the old, in with the old. A function of transition is personal growth. Faith helps us to grow. Not faith that things will work out the way we want, but they'll work out, unfold in some way, and we'll be able to handle it. I may not like it. I've experienced that many times in my life. But I'll have the knowledge and resources and support to cope. Faith that what looks like garbage today may be gold tomorrow, or not. Can I be with not knowing how it will transform? Maybe even relax into that space? That's a hard one for me. I can at moments, you know, at times, I still go down the old track in my brain of putting my faith in fear before I stop that. But there are times I am able to enjoy what's happening, or certainly observe what is happening without fear. But I'm aware I need to be courageous, have faith, and I need to be open to change myself. And at Fox's, people are often hoping to change conditions without changing themselves. Sometimes that's true of churchgoers. They want to stop hurting, but still do or think the same things they've done or thought all their lives. Make the pain go away versus fill it with your presence. Going to church doesn't make you a Christian or a spiritual person any more than standing in the garage makes you a car. To stop hurting, it may mean letting go of the bar, maybe mourning the loss of the old behavior or belief, and hanging in the neutral zone. And yes, that may hurt too. Bridges says most of us have been raised to define courage as the emotional fortitude that enables us to hold fast during difficult times. When the courage that is often called for is the courage to let go. It is a death in some way, it seems to me. Maybe a crucifixion experience, but what follows a crucifixion experience? Resurrection. We never stop giving birth to ourselves. Eric Fromm reminds us of that. And just remember that when you're hurtling through the void, that you're not doing it alone. And to have faith in more than yourself, faith in a caring presence who loves you more than all the cupcakes in the universe, as a friend of mine told her granddaughter. And in soaring across the void and sacrificing what we are for what we could become, we are giving birth to ourselves again and again and again. But when you let go of the bar, it might not be to become the new you. It might be to become the real you. And maybe, just maybe, you will fly. Blessings, my friends. And now, if you would join me in a meditation. Time to go within. Sit comfortably. Let the floor, let the seat, the couch, whatever you're sitting on, let it hold you and feel that support. If it's comfortable, shut your eyes. And as you breathe, notice your breath. Notice your breath. No need to change the depth or the pace of the breath unless you're moved to. but notice that you're breathing on purpose. Let thoughts come and let them go. No need to attach or cling to them. No need to figure anything out now. Just watch them flow by like clouds. And when the same thought comes back, welcome it and let it go. I am ready to give up old, hurtful ways of thinking. I am ready to welcome new ways of being. I am ready to let go of my grasp on the old. Give me faith to unburden myself. Give me faith to believe that together we can do what I cannot do alone. Fill me with your presence. And we sit in silence, listening for your response. Let every voice but spirits be still in me. I breathe into the new, unknown as it may be. And as I breathe out, I allow new possibilities to fill my body. I let go of my grasp on the old. I let go of the way things used to be and receive new treasures, thereby unburdening my heart, my mind, my spirit, and my body. And gently, always gently, come back to the space that you're in. Notice your breathing. This is the breath of life. You are choosing to breathe. Every breath is saying, I am here. Right here, right now. And I let go and I receive my good. And so it